morning, marine biologists. Life as a marine researcher starts pretty early. We usually get up at around 5:30, and turns out the research continues into the night and we go to bed fairly late. This morning we're going to go do some more bruv research, try and capture some smaller animals to identify and put them in the database. I have a great feeling today that we're going to capture footage of a shark. I don't know why, I just have that feeling. And today could be the day that we do see a dugong as well. So we're heading up on one of the smaller boats, heading out on one of the smaller boats called Glaucus. And I'm here with Micah.
Hello all.
We're going to be separating actually. Micah's going to be on a different boat. Where are you going today?
Yes, I'm jumping on another small boat called Tender. And what we're doing is seagrass mapping. So we're going to be jumping in and out of the boat all day, diving to the bottom of the sea floor, grabbing a fistful of seagrass, bringing it up and identifying it. And then we make a bit of a call on the seagrass cover there. So we're going to try and do 100 sites today, so 100 times in and out. Pretty pumped for today, maybe a dugong, maybe a shark. Here's hoping.
100 samples.
Today, yep.
We did that yesterday. We managed close to 50. So sounds like you're going to try and double our efforts from yesterday.
Yeah, apparently there was a school group that came down a few months ago, and on their final day of research they did 120 sites. So they got skilled up and real quick at it. So we're thinking if teenagers can do it, surely we can.
Surely teachers can accomplish more. There's a competition for you kids. Alright, there's more to come. We'll catch you soon. We've just set 4 more bruvs along the mangroves here at a place called Willie's, I believe. Very different to the first time we did it. It's really muddy. You can basically see my hand and that's about it. But we're planting these guys in amongst the eelgrass, which is Zostera muelleri. I find that really weird because that's exactly the species of seagrass we have at the jawbone just behind the school. So hopefully, swimming around in this water that I can't see, it'll be really interesting to see the footage at the end of the day to see what animals are swimming around amongst us right now. Had a bit of a storm, we're trying to get out of the storm, and we've nestled ourselves in amongst an amazing part, a very remote area in the marine park in amongst the mangroves. So we're licking the leaves, is that what's happening here?
Licking the leaves?
So I think that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Oh!
Oh wow!
That is good!
So these guys, they don't have to worry about, they're the ones with the nematophores.
Yeah, but
Whereas these guys haven't got nematophores, so they actually
have to
exude
get rid
salt
of the salt
through their leaves.
So we have nematophores in the ones near us, so if we were to lick their leaves we wouldn't taste the salt. So the weather's turned a little bit. We've got the bruvs in the water. We're waiting for that for an hour before we go retrieve them. In between we're going to do some sites here. We're going to monitor if there's any seagrass in the area. So someone's going to log our position, we're going to jump in and see if there's any cover of seagrass in this location. So let's do it.
6800 153 decimal 33751. Deploy.
Rep 4.
Rep 4. And we never saw Garrett again. Garrett's swimming around in the muddiest water you've ever seen. He's currently looking for seagrass on the bottom of said muddy water and has found nothing. Despite the fact that Mitchell is... Oh, that's actually a flowering shoot right in front of your face there. Just to your right, just there.
We're doing our mapping technique. This is a little bit different to yesterday. We don't have the sled or the high-def camera that we're dragging on the boat, so we're doing some duck diving, we're grabbing samples, we're estimating primary and secondary species. But, Dr. Maxwell, what did we come up with?
So you've got 2 different species here. You've got this one here, which is what we call eelgrass. It's a Zostera muelleri, which you find all over the place, down the east coast of Australia, down into Victoria and South Australia as well. This guy is found all across the bay, and you can see how he's quite tolerant of dirty water, which is always good. And we've got this one, which is what's called dugong grass. So the dugongs love this guy. All the nutrients are in the leaves. He's a bit of a weedy species, so he likes to opportunistically grow, and then he'll die out very quickly after that when the conditions get poorer. So he's got a lower tolerance, but will grow anywhere essentially very quickly.
Hey, I've got one question. question about this. So the Zostra, we actually have this in Williamstown, where our school is.
Right.
We've got very different conditions. The water's obviously a lot colder. And the kids at the moment are learning about ecology and factors that contribute to the good success of a species.
Okay.
What makes this species so successful that can live here and in Victoria?
So this guy is a really clever little seagrass species. So what he can do, he can adapt to a wide range of different water qualities. So you can see how turbid it is here. So what they do is essentially they grow a longer leaf, a thicker leaf, and they'll put on more chlorophyll, which means that they're able to capture a lot more light in the lower turbidity or the lower light water with high turbidity. When we go over towards the eastern part of the bay where we were yesterday, it's a much finer species. So it's the same species, but it's a much finer leaf. They don't have to capture as much light because there's so much more light in the available to them, which means they can invest a lot more heavily in this stuff. In the below ground biomass, in these rhizomes which are between the shoots. So you see here the rhizomes between the shoots, that's where they store their energy. It's a little bit like your liver. So all the starches and all the sugars are stored within these rhizome matters, and when the water gets so turbid like it does today, they can rely on those sugars. They can rely on those sugars to get them through the bad times. So this is a really tolerant species with poor conditions. They're quite an opportunistic seagrass species, which means that they can live anywhere they like.
Fantastic. Now I just heard the radio call for you, so you better get going.
Yep.
Thank you. This is our second lot of brubs that we're putting out for the day. We put out the first 4, we wait an hour, we collect them, and then we review the footage at the end of the day. So this is the second lot. Tracy's going to swim out here in the beautiful water, just along the edge of the mangroves, and we're going to put them down just by the nematophores. Mitch is recording the location, so we know exactly where they're going to be. And if we do find something significant, we know where it was, so we can record that for their data for future years. So in a second, guys, I'm going to put this camera underwater. You're going to see exactly the clarity. Thank you for the fish. Thank you very much, Mitch. Here we go. Let's see if we can see anything at all. So we're just retrieving the brubs. Some of the baits are intact. Others have been eaten, and whatever's been eating it has actually torn and ripped apart the little cage with our baits. It's going to be pretty exciting. It's been very turbid, very silty, so hopefully we get some footage there, but it'll be interesting to watch.